Audrey Hepburn can be remembered in many ways: an actress, a fashion icon, or a mother. But the outstanding contribution she made to our world was not any of those. It was being kind. Audrey cared for the world through her kindness. As the ambassador of UNICEF, she sacrificed her personal happiness for the goodness of others.
Breaker, wherever you're going.
Audrey is mainly associated with her movies, but another contribution she made to our society that is often overlooked was her charity work. On March 8, 1988, Audrey's appointment of UNICEF ambassador was made known to the public. Although the mission she endured were usually emotionally and physically strenuous, she continued to give back to the African countries until her death.
The same.
Even when Audrey was not on missions to poverty-ridden countries, she worked tirelessly for UNICEF. Audrey was so dedicated to her work that she even gave up to 15 interviews a day. She testified in front of the U.S. Congress and did many other charitable things.
River.
On May 4, 1929, Audrey Kathleen Rustin was born. She was the only child of Ella Van Heemstra and Anthony Joseph Victor Hepburn Rustin. From an early age, Audrey sensed that something was not right between her parents. When Audrey was only 6, her Nazi-sympathizing father left home, forever taking a piece of his daughter's heart. The abandonment of Audrey's father is said to be the most traumatic event in her life. Audrey learned to push the pain of her father's disappearance to the back of her mind, and when being interviewed, she either avoided the topic of her father or referred to him as dead.
Wider than a mile, I'm crossing you.
Although the world thought he was dead, he was very much alive. Audrey's first husband, Mel Ferrer, believed that it would be healthy for Audrey to see him again. Through the Red Cross, Mel found that he was alive in Ireland. The place they would meet was the Shelbourne Hotel in Dublin, Ireland. This would be the first time in 20 years that Audrey saw her father, the last being when he took her to a small airport where she was flown to Holland.
Two drifters off to see.
Because of the absence of her father through most of her childhood, Audrey's grandfather played the parenting role and provided love and affection for Audrey. Before acting became a part of Audrey's life, her dream was to become a prima ballerina. During the war, ballet had become her outlet. She pursued this dream much like acting. Hard work and dedication were the key to achieving something in her mind. When the war was really bad and the dance studio had to be shut down, Audrey gave lessons to younger children. But because she wasn't getting enough food and was having too much exercise, she was forced to stop ballet until the war was over.
And me.
Another obstacle that blocked her path of success for ballet was Audrey's height. At 5'7", she was much taller than any of the male dancers at the time. So she slowly began to let go of the dream that kept her alive during the war. Rustin, the last name she was given at birth, was not the name she made famous. Her last name was changed to Hepburn Rustin after the war when her father found papers that stated they came from Hepburn descent. When Audrey's acting career took off, she was asked to change her last name to avoid confusion with Katharine Hepburn. She refused, and today Audrey and Katharine are the only Best Actress Oscar winners to share a last name.
Send you in style someday.
To earn some extra money, Audrey began to get small parts in movies such as Laughter in Paradise, where she played the cigarette girl, and The Secret People. These were made before a woman named Colette picked Audrey to play the leading role in the Broadway production Gigi. This play set off her career.
Drifters off to see the world.
Audrey had many famous movies, but some of the more known are Roman Holiday, which was made in 1953, War and Peace, 1956, Funny Face, 1957, The Nun Story, 1959, Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961, My Fair Lady, 1964, Two for the Road, 1967, and Always, 1989. Audrey's most famous movie, the movie she's known for, Breakfast at Tiffany's, was surprisingly not her most profitable movie. The Nun Story was the movie that brought in the most revenue. Audrey was married twice. Her first marriage was in 1954 to Mel Ferrer after they worked together on the Broadway production of Ondine. Mel and Audrey starred in the movie War and Peace together while they were married. During the time they were together, Audrey suffered many miscarriages, including when she was launched from a horse while shooting The Unforgiven. Thankfully, she finally gave birth to a son on January 17, 1960. They named him Sean. Although Audrey's marriage seemed like a fairy tale, it wasn't. Mel didn't share the same values of family that Audrey did and continued to pursue his career instead of his family. Their divorce was finalized on November 20th, 1968. Audrey wasted no time in finding another husband. Andrea Doughty became Audrey's second husband the Christmas of 1968. Audrey gave birth to her second child, Lucia, on February 8, 1970. Lucia weighed 7 pounds and 8 ounces.
I'm going your way.
Once again, her marriage didn't work out. The problem with her marriage to Doughty was that he was still in love with the on-screen Audrey he had seen in Roman Holiday when he was a teen. He liked that she was famous, but all she wanted was time away from the movie screen. Soon they were divorced.
We're after.
Audrey's last suitor was Robert Wolders. He was more than a lover to her. He was a friend. Wolders went on her UNICEF mission trips with her to give her moral support. In the videos of Audrey, you can see him in the background, never trying to steal her spotlight, but always there with her. When asked why they didn't get married, Audrey simply stated, "There is no reason why we shouldn't get it, but we are just very happy the way we are." Robert was with her through her death. While on her last UNICEF mission in Somalia, Audrey experienced severe stomach pains but ignored them until after the trip. When taken to the doctor, it was discovered that Audrey had abdominal cancer that had spread from her appendix. Nothing more could be done to help her, so she flew back to the only house she had ever owned in Switzerland. Her lifelong friend, Hubert de Givenchy, who dressed her for most of her movies, including her forever famous little black dress, provided the plane. She died peacefully in her sleep at 7 o'clock on January 20th, 1993, with her family and friends by her side.
Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday.
The Audrey Hepburn Children's Fund was established in 1994 by Audrey's two sons, Sean and Lucia, to continue her great work. You can visit audreyhepburn.com to learn more about the cause.
Wherever you're going, I'm going your way.